Hey up Photo Pips, so here I am back in Bradgate Park, and I'm here for a specific reason, and that is to do a review on the new Canon M6. So it's pretty busy here in the park today, so we're going to find a nice quiet spot where I can just let you know some of the changes and comparisons between the M5 and the M3, other than the fact that they've all been named after some seriously crappy motorways in the UK. It just cracks you up. So yeah, the difference really between the M5 and the M6 is the M5 has built-in viewfinder and a push focus, which means when you put your nose up to the camera, because the touch screen is also a focus screen, you touch it with your nose, it's going to focus on that point, so you can isolate one side, whether you're left-eyed or right-eyed, to freeze that part of the screen. So then what you do is you just drag to focus. The M6 has not got that. One or two things that I just want to go over with you that is so different to the M3 really. I mean, I'd say the M6 and the M5 are basically the same camera, other than the items that I mentioned earlier. 24 megapixel resolution, and it is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love the resolution of this camera. When you're shooting in RAW, you've got plenty of play just to create that exposure. But there's a couple of things that I actually think is a brilliant thing on this camera. Yes, I really like the fact that you can allocate this wheel for anything you basically want. I've allocated this one for the ISO, and this one is for my aperture, and this one is for my shutter speed. Now you can also back button focus with this camera, which is another amazing feature. It is basically DSLR in this very tiny body, lightweight. It's also, this is classic, Bluetooth, so you can control it from your phone. We've still got the Wi-Fi option, and not only that, we have a dedicated Wi-Fi button just down here on the side. So I don't know if I'm crazy or if I'm brave, but I have opted for the Takuma tripod. I just want to try and keep things light. I'm a little bit wary with having this 100 to 400 L lens on the front, because it is sort of front heavy, but the easy way to get around that is with the Takuma, just pop them legs out at the back a little bit and just let the tripod lean backwards. Now the other thing I'm here for is to sort of test some of this equipment out for when I go on my Iceland trip. I am going to take all the big gear. I'm going to take my 5D, I'm going to take the big tripod. But if I can get away with this some of the time, I'll be happy. Also, I've been testing out some clothing. Now I've got some heat socks on at the minute, and you know what, they're absolutely fantastic. I love them. But I'm going to do a video about the kit I'm taking to Iceland, the clothing and the camera equipment, the way I'm going to pack it and the way I'm going to use it, and the socks and all that sort of thing will be in there, so if you're interested, stay tuned. Guys, I hope you've seen that. It was a stag and he's heading on down, so I'm going to see if I can track him. The tripod didn't help at all there. It was very cumbersome and very slow. I'm so excited about with this camera is, it's amazing, 9 shots a second, it just flies. And you know what else I love? The simple fact that I just touched the focus where the deer came into the shot and it grabbed onto its face and stuck there, and I just feel like, what? I absolutely love it. With this lens, this camera, it is stunning. The only downside, wrong tripod. I should have bought my big boy where I've just got all that flexibility. Also, for this sort of speed photography, I need to put the viewfinder on, because I find wherever I'm pointing the camera, it's not where the subject is. That is just something that I need to do with practice. When you zoomed out at 400, especially on a crop sensor, it's a lot more. You've got to put that 1.6 crop factor into consideration, which is giving you even more. And for me, using the back of the screen is very difficult. It's something that I'll grasp once I sort of practice a little bit more. But to this photograph I've just taken, I absolutely adore, because I feel it's the first time I've got a mirrorless body with my amazing L lenses, and I can just throw them together now and the job is done. I don't know what's wrong with this camera, but it wants to point to the sky, right? So, time to move on. Let's see if we can find that deer. I have brought the viewfinder, it is in the back, but I also I do want to learn with the screen, but it's never easy, Really happy with that. Now the idea is to use the M3 as a vlogging camera. The thing is, I want to keep my 11 to 22 M lens for the M6, and the 18 to 55 is just not wide enough. I feel like I'm sort of sitting, it look like I'm right in your face, and nobody wants that. Not even me, not even my wife. So, there, look. Beautiful. So I'm just going to put this down. Stunning. Quite a big lad. So every time the camera bleeps, it's bothering him. So I'm just going to go in and see if I can turn the bleep off. Yeah, the tripod's totally wrong. It's just not strong enough. So yeah, I just need to find him again now. So I'm hoping that you can see this. So there, look, it's just, so if I move the camera, it stays with him. The downside to it all is this tripod. So yeah, there we go. And I'm hoping that that lens will just track him and keep him in focus. That's got him. So that is now locked on. So I'm just going to tighten that up. Yeah, the tripod's totally wrong. It's just not strong enough. So I'm just going to get you some settings here. I'm shooting in an ISO of 800, shutter speed of 160 of f5.6, which is the widest aperture of this lens. Stunning. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move on now, just to get a different angle, but he is absolutely stunning. This is an amazing little spot, and I can see why he's sort of, I can see why he's actually sort of perched here. He seems very content. So I'm just going to move down now. There he goes, look at that. There he goes. I'm not going to hurt you, mate. I'm not going to hurt you. So I feel a little bit bad now because he was quite settled, but he'll settle again. Look at him, just looking. Stunning animal, absolutely stunning. Quick tip, so I know I say it all the time, but you've got to stay hydrated, even in these cooler days. So time to stop for a little break. And just to reflect on the last half an hour of shooting with the M6, the 100 to 400mm L lens, and the verdict is stunning, absolutely fantastic. I cannot believe how good the autofocus is. I would never ever expected this to have happened in a mirrorless Canon camera. So it looks like they finally got the act together. So I'm feeling now that, who is this camera for? The new kit lens I've put together with the M5 and the M6 is a very good lens. It covers a good range. It's the 15 to 45mm lens, which should be nice for just general use, but you also need to get something that's going to give you that reach. 200, I'd say 200, 150 to 200, because it's a crop sensor. 150, 200 and anything above. So 150 and anything above would be fine with this camera. So there is two solutions in the L series, in the M series, and that's the 150. I think it's 18 to 150. I'm not sure, and I don't know what the 200 one is. I haven't looked, to be honest. But yeah, so but then you've got all your EF lenses if you buy the adapter to go along with your nice new M6 or M5. For me personally, I feel that the M6 is a better fit for me. I already have the viewfinder and I already had the adapter from my M3. So yeah, the M6 was a lot cheaper, by around a couple of £100 I believe, or even if it was £100 it's still cheaper. I also got the cashback option from Canon itself, which fantastic, 60 quid back in my pocket, perfect. Bought a couple of SD cards on Amazon. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the M lens 11 to 22 on, put this big lens away and just have some fun. So the 100 to 400 is back in the bag, and I've opted for the 11 to 22mm M lens, and we're just going to have a little bit of fun. It's all completely lightweight now. This is what it's about for me. This is what I want, and we'll just see how we fare. I'm sure we'll fare pretty well. So I'm just going to head over to the Lady Jane Grey. Look at all these conkers on the floor. So yeah, I'm just going to head over and take some photographs of Lady Jane Grey's old house. The key features to a mirrorless camera for me is having that flip out screen. It is so important that for getting these low shots of your subject, you really need the flip out screen. 99% of cameras are actually doing that now. So I think we'll have a play around here, see if we can get something different from the shots I took with the M3. Now I remember coming here and saying that it was very difficult to get anything that's worthy of looking at, and I actually felt I'd mastered that with the M3. I'd got a shot that I'd never taken before, never seen before, and absolutely loved. So we're going to try and do it again. We'll put the GoPro session on so you can see everything that's happening from that camera's perspective. So the other thing I love about this is my little meter I've got that tells me whether I'm straight or not, because one of the worst things for me was I always get wonky shots. And there it goes, green. So the other thing I really love about this camera is the grip on it is very deep. I mean, it's alright, I've only got small fingers, so it looks a treat for me. It is, it's perfect. There's no weight to it whatsoever. I love the fact that everything is compatible with it and it focuses. So just as I approach this tree, I can see a really good composition. I'm looking at maybe shooting through the wall, getting the memoriam with the tree leaning in. We've got some really nice sky starting to appear over there. So a bit of a warning sign, I think, to start heading back. But not before we have some fun with this tree. So I love to shoot in manual mode, but you've got so many different modes on it. You've got your usual aperture priority, your shutter shoot speed priority, and your P for professional, and one or two other custom settings that you can use too, in fact, which is exactly the same as the 5D Mark III. I'm just going to do a couple of ISO shots. That one was at 200. This one I'm going to do at 4. Eight. 16. 32. 64. 128. 256. F22 at 4,000th of a second, and I think I've just maxed it out. on summary then, I'm going to sum this up now. Who is this camera for? This camera is for me, you, everybody. You buy a kit lens, bang, you're away. 18 to 55 or the 15 to 45, whatever you need, it's there. It's there. Canon have actually, about time they've done it. I remember looking back on the M3 review and walking probably just about this same place. I think I was just over there, and saying, oh, they're not quite there, they're not quite there. Great camera, but not quite there. And I was sort of saying that it was more for people like myself that already have EF lenses that can put them on. But this is 24 megapixel resolution, fast shutter speed, fast focus. I don't know what else to say. And the thing is, it's body only $599, that's what I paid for it, and with the cashback from Canon, £60, that's not to be sniffed at. And it's so easy to fill in. If you've not seen the last video, have a look. I explain how to fill that in on there. I'll put a link there. Ding. Enjoy, let's have a look what we can get. So another really great advantage to this camera is the fact that it can shoot a video time lapse, which to me is a great help. It's saying that it can do 300 shots, and it's on number 16, and you literally just sit here and it takes the shots. So I'm just going to sit here, enjoy, and let it take the shots.